Hello, we're back again. Feel like I'm getting to know you much more now, and I'm sure you feel the same about me. We're getting on like a house on fire, aren't we? And you see me with you've seen me in an emotional state. It's just why actually I thought perhaps you didn't want to see that. I didn't want you to see that. It's the reason I've taken my wig off today. Most of the time I'm in the studio. I wear my wig. It makes me feel like the artist. It makes me more creative, and but the downside is that it does also bring to the fore my very highly developed emotional side, and that's probably not what I want to bring to these interviews. I call them interviews, by the way, because I know I am talking to just the general lower strata of the society we live in. I do feel that I'm talking for your behalf, but I'm being interviewed by Parkinson or the woman on Desert Island Discs, and so yes, if I refer to the interviews again, that's what I'm talking about. So in the previous interviews, we've covered all the different ways I can present to you, and in my noble quest to help bring you up into the rarefied atmosphere of the life of the preeminent figurative stone sculptor. But I think really what we should do is probably ignore all the other ways that other people are presenting, and just concentrate on being myself. I don't think you've been filling to capacity these rather large venues when you've come to see me give my talks. I don't think you're going there to see a comedian or a rocketeer or have someone speaking. Well, I won't dwell on the art speak thing, but I think you just want to see me in my normal lovely self. So I'm going to just go with that and forget about how to present. Just present, and talk about from now on what it is that I am proposing to sculpt. I've reached this point of not being able to go any higher. So sculpture's been around for hundreds of thousands of years, and will be around for another 100 million years to come, and therefore it's very important that what I sculpt, generations in the future won't want to see a domestic cat in marble. They'll want to see something more I don't know, more informative, more important than a cat. So I've looked at other artists, the artists you would have heard of. You would have heard of the Damien Hursts and the Tracey Emins and the Antony Gormleys and the like. Why they call themselves artists, I don't know. But anyway, I've looked at them. Antony Gormley, for example, uses his own rather amorphous, rather diminutive body form, and to compensate for obviously his anxieties about his physical shape, he's reproduced his body shape countless hundreds of times in various things. You've heard of the Archangel of the North, on all those figures that are looking out to sea in some bay in England somewhere, and so he's used his body form. So human body is that's probably something quite good. An artist you won't have heard of, George Stubbs. I think it's George Benedict Stubbs. His stock in trade was horses, and absolutely lovely they are. He was a past master at painting horses, and another artist you won't have heard of, Michelangelo. See, you're coming up to my level now. I'm informing you. You can what is it? You Google, don't you? You Google. I think that's what you call it. Google eyes. These names, and it tells you all about them. So Michelangelo is the other one. George Stubbs. For horses, Michelangelo, his area of concern was the human body, much like Gormley, but not much like Gormley in as much that his sculpted forms and painted forms were absolutely beautiful. And were he alive today, someone of Michelangelo's caliber would be instantly, eyes locked on what I'm doing, see what he can learn, and and improve his sculptural prowess by trying to look at what I'm doing. So so the human form, body. Okay, we mentioned horses earlier with regards my trisexuality, and some may say it's probably no coincidence that my studio is right here in a horses stables, an international polo stabling venue. And yes, it's certainly true. I'm out there most days sketching the horses. Often I let the pencil drop to the ground, I forget it's in my hand, and I just stood there open-mouthed when they come sweating off from their exercise area, come back sweating, and the stable girl, I've asked her to do this for me when I come back from a run. I'm equally sweaty, but she'll hose down the horses without even being asked. But when I've asked that she do the same, she just reports me, and I don't know what that's all about. Anyway, these horses, they shave the horses. They shave their, is it hair, fur? I'm quite sure it's not feathers, but anyway, they shave the horses so that it's just bare bronze skin glistening over the musculature and in the sunshine. And if you're not turned on by that, then I think there's something probably seriously wrong with you. But anyway, so horses I've long since considered as my main subject for the future. I think generations in the future mankind, 100 million years ahead, will be interested to these erotic creatures, and we'll want to see what they look like